Hi, friends. I have some stuff to share with you today. It is the holidays. It is the holidays. They are upon us. We cannot lie at this point. Although I am going to say I did stock up on my witch's brew, which is like the holiday flavor of my, well, I want to say it's a good energy drink because there's like no sugar in it, but you know, it's still an energy drink. And I'm still going to enjoy all of them that I have. All right, let's talk about the holidays. So one thing that I absolutely love to do during the holidays is I know that my customers are going to be either hosting or going to celebrations, right? Okay. For the most part. This has been called many, many things. You can come up with your own names. You can just get creative. You can do whatever you would like, but I'm showing you today what I personally do and what I am doing. So, in fact, I'm going to make one up while we chat today because that's what we're all about. It's the week of Thanksgiving. It's Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And I don't know about you guys, but I have, it is crap ton an official word? Either way, I have a crap ton of things on my plate right now. Also very exciting news that I will share with you before I dive into all of the fun is that, this time next week, I'm going to have a little baby. That's right. My daughter, her due date is the 27th. So we're still hoping for a Thanksgiving baby this week. However, her doctor is seeing her once a week. And so now we've already set a date for the induction on Monday. So if my little baby Ricky does not arrive on his own in the next week, well, we will be having him come into the world next Monday. So I am very personally excited for that. I know you guys are like, okay. It's a big deal though. This is my first grandbaby. Very exciting. My daughter's had a fabulous pregnancy the entire way through. But as with any pregnant woman, she is done now being pregnant. Okay, she is done with it. So that's very exciting. So while that's happening, right? And some of you may also be it's Thanksgiving week, right? So whether you're hosting, whether you're going somewhere, maybe you're going out of town, maybe you've got so much going on that you've got a crap ton too, right? Happening. And you're like, there's no way I can work my business at this time, right? Or as we go into December, right? Probably a crap ton happening in December for most of us. My youngest, she's a Christmas baby. So not only will I have an official 13-year-old on my hands, but I've also got the holiday all happening all at the same time. Crap ton. I think when I upload this to YouTube, I'm just going to name this video crap ton. Crap ton of stuff. So how do we work our business around a crap ton? How do we do that? What do we do? How do we do it? How do we find time to do things? Okay, so here's what I personally do. When I am planning for the next day, and some of you already know that one of the things that I love to do is I love to plan. I work in my planner. So whether yours is paper, digital, it doesn't matter. Mine is digital. At the end of every day, I kind of have my routine to where I will sit down and I will plan out the next day or the next couple of days, whatever I need to do in my planner for my business. I track my daily numbers. I usually will run just a very quick leadership report just so I have eyes on my business. It just makes me feel better as a leader, just kind of having a rough idea of what's happening every single day. Now, part of that doesn't take very long, right? That shouldn't take very long to sit there and plan and decide what you're doing the next day or the day after, right? So then what I do is I actually go through and I schedule posts for my social media. So if you are, I really don't know, and maybe there is a way, but I personally haven't dug into it. Maybe there's a way to do it on mobile, but I personally will just do the full desktop version on Facebook or the Meta suite, the Meta business suite. And you can do like a month long of scheduling. It really is very easy, very visual. It pulls up a calendar. You can just plot all of your things in there. You can write your captions. You can go ahead and set up all of your things, get everything done, and you can do it from that Meta business suite. Okay. So if you have a business page on Facebook, then maybe you're a little bit more familiar with that. Either way, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, what I'm doing is I'm just using Facebook, and I'm going into Facebook and I am using the schedule feature. So I will go in there and I will schedule posts for my VIP group. I will go in there. I don't really schedule a whole lot anymore on my business page. I know, it's weird. I think that my business has kind of, it's kind of changed over the years, because I used to be very focused on my business page. And while that is good to have a business page, I think things change, right? Things change on social media. I don't really find that I get a lot of interaction on the business page. And so I've kind of pulled back from really posting a whole lot, right? Like, it's not one of those things like every day I want to make sure I've got a post on that business page. I do, however, really focus on my VIP group, right? Those that are in my VIP group, those are my customers, right? Those are the people, that is my active audience. In there, I also share things. In fact, yesterday I talked about the baby coming. I do share more of my personal side, right? Because this is a relationship business. So we aren't just selling machines, right? We're not just here looking for sales. I mean, we kind of are, but you know what I mean, right? We're here to also build relationships, because in the end, relationships are what is going to equal those sales for us. So really try and, if you've never tried it before, I would challenge you. In fact, I would encourage you, strongly encourage you, to start sprinkling in personal with your business. Let your customers get to know you, okay? I'm not saying dig out the diary, okay? Don't dig out the diary. Don't do all the negativity. Don't get on there whining and complaining. Don't do it. Just do not. But what I am saying is share what's going on in your life. And maybe you're like, well, I don't really have anything going on in my life, right? Okay, well, did you put up your Christmas tree yet? When are you planning on putting up your Christmas tree? Are you planning anything for the holiday, right? So just sharing some things that you're doing, right? Maybe it just is what you're watching on Netflix. It can be as simple as that, friends. But you need to be building those relationships, and that is one way to do it. So I really do take time to schedule that out, because again, I'm going to be busy. I personally host Thanksgiving every year for my family. So Wednesday, starting tomorrow, I will go into full cooking mode. Okay. So Jacqui switches off. In comes my inner chef, and I literally go into cooking mode starting on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. And then of course, Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving, right? We have affectionately named our turkey George, and George is relaxing and enjoying his last day in the refrigerator, because I am getting ready to get him prepped starting tomorrow, right? For the big day. He's got his big debut coming up. So I have a lot of things happening, and I'm probably if I am going to be using my phone, more than likely, it's to take food pictures. I'm not going to lie. I love food. It's one of my passions. If those of you didn't know, I have had a food blog for many years. Actually, I think I started my food blog the year before I actually joined Scentsy. So I've had my food blog, although I have not updated it in quite some time. I've actually had my food blog since 2011. Food and blogging were like I loved it, and I still do. I just don't blog as often, obviously. If you've looked at my food blog, it's funny to me. Okay, but I love cooking. So the majority of what I'll probably be doing, anything with my phone, is probably taking pictures of food or me making food or sharing in my stories, things like that, right? Okay. But that's also me sharing my personal side. Again, building relationships. So I'm going to be on Instagram. I'm probably going to be sharing those stories to my Facebook stories, right? So along those lines, right, I'm going to be sharing some of that. And I will also make it a point to share in my VIP group. Again, right, I want to be building relationships with my customers. Okay. Another way that I build relationships with my customers, and then we're going to dig into this baby right here, is I do a weekly newsletter. My customers have slowly but surely, I have been really trying to pull people off of my Facebook. Okay. Yes, I still have my VIP group on there. Of course, our group here, this is never going away, right? But for me and my business, in a sense, right, I want people to not only connect with me on Facebook, right? I don't want to be tied to Facebook. I don't want to rely on Facebook, right? Because why? Because we can't control Facebook. I don't own it. Everything that I put out there, it could be gone tomorrow if Zuckerberg decides to flip a switch. All of my things are now gone, right? Then what would you do, right? So for me personally, pulling things off of Facebook and trying not to be as Facebook heavy has been a big focus for me over the last, well, probably year, I guess. Not in big ways, but in smaller ways. But one of the ways that I have been very committed to this more recently is starting a weekly customer newsletter. And so I have gotten into the habit of doing that newsletter. I usually write it on Wednesdays, and I use Flowdesk to send that out, but you could use MailChimp. I used to use MailChimp for years. It's a really great service. But you can get on there and you can create a newsletter that you can start emailing to customers if that's something that you would like to try, right? Finding different ways to communicate with your target audience. That's what we're looking at the end of the day. So maybe that looks like texting for you. Maybe that looks like a weekly email or a monthly email even. It doesn't have to be weekly, right? It's just what I chose to do. But in that email, and I will actually share last week's, I'll post a link. I'll post a link on here for the email that I sent out last week, because you'll see it's not just Scentsy. It's the same thing that I do in my VIP group, right? I'm not just selling Scentsy. I'm also sharing me and what's going on with my life, right? So, of course, lately my favorite topic has been baby Ricky that's about to be coming, right? So I've been sharing about the baby. I've been sharing about what I'm doing, getting ready for the holidays, things like that. So adding those little nuggets of yourself into however you're communicating is going to serve you well. I promise. All right, so let's get into how I'm going to work over the holidays. So I am going to put my employees to work. That's right. My employees. What are my employees? My employees, I'm going back to basics, people. It is pouch parties and it is testers. Yes, right? We just love a good set of testers. All right, so we probably all have at least one bag, if not many more. I do. You don't even want to know how many bags I got of those. Testers. So, And here's another fun fact for those of you who maybe have been in Scentsy for a minute and you're like, well, I don't have any of the current scents. You don't have to have any of the current scents, okay? Go through your previous testers, okay, or any testers that you have. Maybe you joined 4 years ago. Maybe you rejoined and you're like, yeah, I still have the old testers that I had back in the day. That's fine, because I guarantee you if you go back into those testers, you're going to find at least 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, I don't know, testers of scents that we probably still have in the catalog. Why? Because we have some of our tried and true scents, right? Like Luna, black raspberry, vanilla, blue, you know, all the things, right? All the things. So I guarantee you, you're at least going to have a couple, if not a handful, that you could probably use. So these are my employees, okay? These are my employees. So what I do, and I've got 2 of these specifically, but you can really honestly use really whatever you want. Whatever you want. Okay, these are just little 31 totes. Okay, I bought them years ago. But I like this tote because it helps me when I'm doing a bag party like this, or a tote party. Because it's a tote. You see what I did there? Okay. Doesn't matter though. You can call it whatever you want. Call it a Thanksgiving thankful bag. I don't know. Call it a holiday Santa's bag. I don't know. Whatever. Make up something fun. Give it a theme if you want to. If you're into doing themes, maybe you've got Christmas trees or snowflakes or snowmen or little things like that, right? You can decorate it up however you want. Maybe put some battery powered like fairy lights in your little basket. Create a basket. I don't know, right? But have fun with it, okay, is the main point. But now this is not something, okay, let me just take the question out of the air real quick. I am not mailing this, okay? Not mailing this. This is for local. Okay, what I would mail, which is actually over there, and I'm not going to grab it because it's going to be too much, but it's just a big pouch, right? It is a plastic tote, or big plastic envelope is what it looks like, okay? And then what I do is I actually put everything in there, and then I put it in a, if it fits, it ships, padded mailer, because I can ship it for a flat rate no matter how heavy it is, okay? And I can throw whatever I want in there, and then I ship that out. And when I'm shipping that out, those are things that I do not accept. I don't expect to get any of that back, okay? Let me just make that clear. The things that I'm mailing out for a bag party, tote party, pouch party, whatever we're calling it, Santa's sack party, I'm not needing it back, right? So if that means I'm going to include 10 testers of scents that we have available in the catalog, well, that's fine. Jacqui can either replenish her own testers or pull from the 800 other bags of testers that she has, right? The point is I don't necessarily need those things back, okay? Okay. Maybe you have, and this is really great for people who are going to be mailing or things that you don't really necessarily need back. If you have opened maybe a hand cream, for example, right? This can become your tester, okay? Just like when you go into that store, you guys know the store I'm talking about. They sell things that smell good too. I'm not going to say it, but they do. In that store, you know just as well as I do, right? What do they have? They have testers, right? So whether that's a room spray that, right, you would spray, right? A fragrance mist that we have, right? That maybe you've opened and you've used a couple of times, but it's not your favorite, right? That now becomes a tester, okay, friends? Same thing with a hand cream, a body cream, whatever it is, right? You can do all of these things. You can do the same thing if you have bars of a scent that maybe you've taken 3 cubes out of, right? Maybe you've used 3 cubes and you're like, I don't know. I wasn't really crazy about that scent. I don't know. But you've still got the rest of those cubes. Okay, put that in there. That becomes testers. Please use me, right? And so anything that I do, I will then usually either print out a sticker, or sometimes I'll even just put a sticker on there and handwrite on the sticker, right? And I'll just put use me or tester or try me or something like that, right? Stick it on there, put it in, all right? So whether I'm mailing it, that again, I'm not expecting it back. Now, same thing goes for what I'm going to give out for my local people. Now, I only have 2 that I'm going to be doing this with. I wish I had more, and maybe if I had done better planning, I could have gotten more. But that's where we are, okay? You guys know I'm not here to try and blow smoke, okay? I'm telling you what I'm doing. So, for this specific tote, right, this is going to be, I'm going to give this out tomorrow. Maybe I should do it later today. I don't know. Cause tomorrow's going to be crazy. So I'm going to be delivering this tote. Now, of course, it's going to be, the main purpose is for them to be sharing it over the Thanksgiving holiday, right? So, they are actually hosting. They're hosting. So they are a host. Now, I happen to have on hand, but if you don't have these things, right, use what you do have, okay? Use what you have opened. It doesn't matter. Actually, I probably will open this one because I do want to pour some out, because I actually want to, I want to fill up my own little personal container because this is a really good scent. But because it's a holiday, right? I wanted to throw in something themed. And last year I stocked up on some things. So I have some Scentsy Fresh and Snow-Kissed Cranberry. Not gonna lie, flipping amazing. Flipping amazing, this scent, but amazing in the Scentsy Fresh, which is why I'm going to fill up my own container first. And then I'm going to give the rest, and I'm just going to put a little sticker or either print them out and just put use me or try me on it, okay? So that is going to go in my tote bag, right? Because I want her to be able to spray her fabrics, right? Before her, the whole point is for her to use these things. So that way the people who are coming to her house, right, are going to experience Scentsy. Think of it like a home party. What would you do if you were getting ready to have a home party? Or if you've never done one, that's one of the things that I personally love to do, is I would get there a little bit early and I would, use Scentsy Fresh, spray the couch cushions, right? Spray those kind of things. Depending on where we're sitting in that area, if I've got like a cloth or whatever on the table that I've laid out, I would probably spray the cloth too. I've done things like that, right? In the bathroom, I would go and put a hand soap in the bathroom, right? So people, when they get up to go use the bathroom, would use that hand soap. You guys get the idea, right? Same concept in this bag, right? But I really want to focus more on, she's going to have people in her home, right? So that's why the Scentsy Fresh is going to be great, because I'm going to tell her, because I'm going to actually write the instructions down in my host coaching, which is what I've always done, right? Whenever I send something out, is I just put little tips, right? So part of that host coaching is really, in a sense, giving them directions. Here's what to do, right? So one of those things would be, there's some Scentsy Fresh in there and a wonderful scent called Snow-Kissed Cranberry. It's one of my personal favorite holiday scents, but I encourage you to spray all of your fabrics, curtains, bath mats, towels, couch cushion, right? I'm going to like list it all out, right? And I'm going to let them know, hey, you need to go ahead and use that, because it's going to give those items a burst of fragrance. The other one thing that I'm going to put in there is I'm putting in some dish soap. Is anybody else going to be doing dishes on Thanksgiving? Of course they are. Okay. So I'm going to give her some hand soap, or some dish soap. And the dish soap in this case is a very snowy spruce. Again, this is just things in the holidays scents that I had left over from last year. Super secret Scentsy Stash Jacqui. But if you don't, again, maybe you've already used half of one. It's fine. It's fine. Give them the rest of what you've got left, right? That's okay. You don't have to give them all brand new items, so don't think of it that way. All right, so that's going to go in there because, of course, I know she's going to be doing dishes. Again, I want her to experience it. I want her to use it, because if she likes it, what's going to happen? She's probably going to tell people about it. All right, another thing that I'm putting in there is I have an extra wall fan diffuser. Now, this is truly an extra. This is one of my personal ones, and I will show you. It's one of the very first ones that I got. This may have been, no, because this one's got I think it's got a light. I don't remember now. I got to look. No, I don't think it's got a light. Anyway, I digress. You can tell this is Jacqui's personal one, right? Because this is when Hero was just a little boy. And look, he tried to grab it one day, and there's his little teeth marks. Okay, but did it deter me from using this? Heck no, it did not. Okay, it just shows that it is truly puppy proof too, right? So he pulled it off. Obviously, I grabbed it before he did any real damage, but you get my point. Okay, so this has been one of my personal wall fans that I've had for a minute, right? Since Hero's been a pup. Okay, so do I mind parting with it? No, because I have multiples that I already have in my house, and I'm actually not even using this one. 9 times out of 10, this is one that I'm using for pictures or for a display or when I'm doing a Facebook party, things like that, right? You get the point. Okay, so I'm gonna gift this gently used, a gently hero used wall fan diffuser. Okay, you can gift something like that. Okay, it could be a mini warmer that maybe you've had for a while, and again, you're just like, yeah, I like it, but I don't know. It could be that, right? It could be. I'm just giving you ideas, but it does not have to be this. Okay. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to throw in some pods. So I will probably go through there and see in my little pot. Oh, there's a little basket down there. If you can see the little basket right there, that's where my pods are. So I'll probably go through there and I'll pull out some pods that are more seasonal, or at least in my opinion, maybe will be seasonal, right? So something like that. So that's going to go in here as well. So that goes in my little tote. So you see what I've got on this side, right? Okay. So in the other side, what am I putting in? I've got some showcase brochures. I'm going to throw in those because I want her to have this out. Part of my host coaching is going to include, set this this tote out. So your guests and your family, right, when they're over and they're waiting for dinner, because that's what everybody does on Thanksgiving, right? And you can have them have this out. So I've got my bag of testers. So I'm going to go through here. I'm not putting this whole bag of testers in. Okay. I'm going to go through here. That's why there's a hole in the bag, because I was just too frustrated to open that knot. So I'm going to go through here, and I'm probably going to pick out maybe 10 or 15. Honestly, is what I'm going to do. I'll pull from some different categories, right? So some may be bakery, some may be fresh, some may be like a Luna, right? A floral, whatever. And I will just put those in. You guys probably have the same thing that I do, right? We're Scentsy consultants. I have plenty of bags, right? So I'm going to put it in a bag, put those testers in a bag, and then those will go down in here. Another thing that I have is a scent circle. Now, guys, whenever I close out a party that is my party and I'm utilizing the host rewards, I suck up on scent circles. I do at least a 6-pack, if not 2 6-packs of scent circles every time I close one of my personal parties. That's how I use my host rewards. Why? Because, hello, these are things that I'm able to give as thank yous to hosts, put in tote parties, right? All the things. They're really easy to mail out. Some of you may have gotten them as fun little gifts from me too, right? Because that's what I do. That's what I do. I also have at least one that I carry in my purse. So along with my Impress Me packets that I give out, I think you guys have seen those, right? I got those from my girl Rihanna Franco, and she introduced me to those, so I keep those put together, and they're just little samples is what I have, and it just says you impressed me. So like when I'm at the grocery store, somebody gave me great customer service, they're gonna get a little Impress Me packet. And like I said, sometimes or I usually will have at least one scent circle somewhere in my purse. And so if they've really been amazing, then maybe it's a scent circle. Or maybe I've already given out my Impress Me packets that I had in my purse. Scent circle. Okay, anyway, you get the point. All right, so the scent circle is going in there. Now, I want her to be able to experience Scentsy. I'm also going to gift her a travel twist. Why? Because I have one on hand. Okay, that's why. All right, this is in Swirling Snowflakes. You guys may realize that this is no longer available. This one did sell out. Swirling Snowflakes. It's Swirling Snowflakes, people. Which I just noticed. Look, can you see that color in there? I hadn't noticed the color before. Okay. Anyway, that's the fragrance oil in there. And this one smells, if you haven't smelled it, it's a little bit more on the pepperminty side. It smells icy. Okay, so I'm going to tell her in the host coaching, I'm going to tell her, put this out in a smaller space. So maybe it's the bathroom. Maybe the end table. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'll have to get a little creative and see where some suggestions are that I can have her put this, right? But they're also great too for the car. They're really great for the office, whatever. But I'm going to tell her that, of course, this is yours. I happen to have one on hand, so I'm gifting this to you, right? So again, that's just my little, it's going to end up being my host gift is what it's going to be. But so she's going to be able to have that, and she'll be able to share that. Why? Because they're a new product, right? I want people to really be interested. Again, I got those using host rewards. That's how I use them. So it's not pulling money out of my pocket. All right. Now, of course, the other thing, we're all about wax and warmers, right? Right. Okay. So I'm going to give her a bar, and I use scent of the month scents. Now, those of you who know me know that I am not a bakery fan, okay? So these actually are scents that Jacqui personally doesn't warm. Why? Because I just don't particularly care for these scents in my house. That's okay. I think that they smell fine and they're amazing. They're just not my personal taste, okay? So I have extras because I subscribe to scent, at least the minimum. I do scent of the month every single month. All right, so warm pumpkin drizzle, okay? Obviously, I have a couple of those on hand, right? It's very pumpkin-y and it's very caramelly. Caramelly? I don't know, however you want to say it. Yeah, see, that's too much bakery for Jacqui, okay? Too much bakery for Jacqui, but this is going to make an impression in her house, right? Okay, yes, it does. Also, which I need to still record, I got the scent of the month for December, right? So that is cinnamon pine cones. Again, it's very cinnamony. It's very pine coney, okay? It smells literally like cinnamon and pine cones. I don't even know, because I haven't actually opened up the brochure to look at the description again. If they say that there's anything else in there, I don't know what they would say. Maybe a little bit of vanilla. Maybe it says like a hint of vanilla or something, like a hint, right? Like I'm always like, yeah, right. No. This is cinnamon and pine cone. Okay. This one is not one that Jacqui's going to be warming in her home. I can tell you that right now. I am going to warm just a little bit here in my office so I can make felt samples, get it out in the mail outs, right? But beyond that, okay. So I'm going to put 2 bars in there as well. Another fun thing, right? I want it to be fun. I want it to be a little bit creative. I also wanted to think about, okay, she's going to put this out. She's going to put this little tote bag out wherever her guests or family or friends are sitting, waiting for the turkey to be done, right? George in our house. So while they're waiting, I went to the Target dollar spot a while back, and I had stocked up, not really stocked up, but grabbed handfuls of these little things. So this was $3 in the Target dollar spot. But what they are is they are little macrame wreaths, right? So you can see the pictures up there, right? It just makes these little wreaths, and it's just tying knots, okay? It gives the little directions on the back. So that little package is going to go in there too, right? Because hello, it's just a little fun thing that I can throw in. Some other things that I'm going to do also, I still have felt samples. I've got handfuls left of the Sweet Orange and Evergreen, which is still a great scent. I actually worn this one last week. Was not horrible in my house, right? I know. I kind of burned myself out with tree scents last year. We had a whole heck of a lot of them. But this one was not awful. I will say that. It was not awful. So I have actually been warming it. So I've still got some felt samples. So those are going to go in there too, right? And then I'm going to look around. Maybe, in fact, I mean, I've got a little bit of this fluffy fleece. Maybe I'll throw this fluffy fleece in there. Because I've got more, and I personally love this scent. It's fantastic. But then I can say, you know, in my host coaching that I'm going to write out, print, and then just put in here, right, that after you're done doing the dishes and everyone's gone, you can sit back after a long day of hosting and cooking and eating and relaxing, and you can use this on your hands and really just get cozy on the couch and be thankful for the day, right? So maybe I will throw that in there as well. So that would be a fun thing that I could put in there. Now, aside from what you see here, the only other things that I'm going to throw in are, I do have, because I do bulk sampling, right? So What I am going to do is I've got some samples of Scentsy Fresh and apple and cinnamon sticks. So I'm going to throw a couple of those tester or samples, throw a couple of those in there. I might actually go ahead because I still have samples made up of the pet. I've got Freshen Up Pup and the pup shampoo already made up. And so I might go ahead and put those in a little bag. And then I have... do I even have it up here? I thought I printed more out. Maybe I did not. So maybe I just need to reprint. Yeah, I'll probably have to reprint. But I make up what I call my little bark bags. So I've got a video on the bark bags too that I made up real quick. But so I'll put those together. So if she, which she does, but I've already given her samples, so I don't know if she'll use them. But maybe somebody else shows up and they've got a dog, and then maybe I'll throw a couple of those samples in, and I label it that it says a bark bag. That's right, I made stickers. That's what I did. See, I remembered printing something. And so they're there. Bark bag. So that's all it is there. And on those stickers, it just says, our pet-friendly grooming products soothe skin while keeping coats clean, soft, and smelling fresh. That is wording directly from my website, friends. And I just put some little paw prints on there. And of course, a QR code, because that's what I do, right? So QR code. So I put these two samples in a bag, and then I put that sticker on the bag. So again, it is very labeled that they are aware of those are pet products. Now, I have heard of some consultants and maybe customers who have used like the detangler spray in their own personal hair. Like, it's not going to hurt them, right? But on the samples, of course, anything that I send out, it always has the ingredients. So they do have all the ingredients. So they know that, you know, whatever. If their pet is maybe allergic to something, now they know. The more you know. So I'll put a little pet bag together as well. Anyway, so that's basically what's going to go in this tote. Now, I'm probably going to pad it up. I'll probably put some tissue paper in there. I really don't do confetti or anything when I do these things, but on the sides of my tote, though, you will see this specific tote. And if you don't have sides on your bag or basket or whatever, again, you can just put them in an envelope or in another plastic bag, whatever. I do throw in business cards. And you guys know my tip for business cards. I keep them in this little box with a scent pack. There's vanilla bean buttercream in there. And so whenever I give out a business card, it smells like vanilla bean buttercream. So I like it because it scents everything up. They're also going to get, of course, a Scentsy Club flyer. I'll probably throw a few of those in there, right? Because the whole point is for people to pick them up and look at them. So I'll put that in there. I've also got join brochures. So I'll be putting some join brochures in there. These are just ones that I get from the consultant store. So those will go in there as well. So again, there's just some little extra things that are in there. And I'll put all that and then label everything up. And then I go and I drop this off and I say, I hope you have a fabulous Thanksgiving. Happy turkeying. Happy familying, happy, all the things, right? So now I can make this really even more pretty, and I probably will because I have some extra ribbon. And so maybe I'll just tie a nice little ribbon on the top of my little tote here, right? Just dress it up just a little bit, right? Just have a little bit of fun with it. Again, it doesn't have to be fancy. The whole point is to share, right? Now, because I'm going to be doing this, and the goal is for the host, for her family, friends, guests, whatever, to smell through these things and maybe place an order, because I'm also setting her up a party link on my website, right? So I'll be putting in the host coaching notes, you know, here's your link. I actually create a QR code and I put that on there as well. So again, it makes it easy. Think of things that would be easy for your customers, right? Most of their friends, family are going to have their phones. That's just how we roll nowadays, right? So people can just hold their phone over, and then she'll be able to say, hey guys, if you want to order anything, you can just scan that, look for my name on her website, and then you can just place the party. Well, actually the QR code, it will be directly to her party, but I'll still put in the host coaching. Make sure they select your name. I always do that just as a CYA, right? I just want to fail safe, make sure it's getting connected to her party. So I will put that in host coaching as well. Let her know that she can do that, and she can also share that link out with other people who are not at her home so she can jack up those rewards. The whole point is to get her to at least a minimum party, right? So a minimum of 200. But in the host coaching, I'm going to tell her, this is what I tell all my hosts, is 500 is your minimum goal. And I always shoot for that 500 minimum goal for one, because I know it's going to give them the most rewards. They're going to get that highest bracket of host rewards out of that. Plus they're going to be able to get that free shipping mark, right? And it just really sets them up. It sets them up. Okay. It also allows me to unlock a free kit, a free host exclusive kit if she or someone else maybe would like to join, right? So that's another option that gets included. So that is what I'm going to do. Now, maybe you've heard these called turkey trots, different things. It doesn't matter. Again, come up with your own fun name, but that's how you can get things to work for you over the holidays. So you can see what I'm doing for Thanksgiving. Again, you could totally, and I recommend doing this as well, do this as well for the Christmas holiday, right? So look for those people who don't want to do a party, don't want to do the Facebook party, whatever. Hey, are you going to be hosting? Are you going to be going somewhere? If I make up a tote or a bag or, you know, an envelope, whatever, doesn't really matter the vessel that it's going in, right? Can you take this with you and share it with everybody that's going to be there? And if you get some host rewards, that would be awesome. We can keep your link open up to 90 days if that's what you want to do, just so we can start adding orders to get you to that maximum amount, right? So that's how I look to book those types of parties. Okay. Those are the wording that I use. Again, host coaching is going to be key. You have to include host coaching. Now, you can verbally tell them, maybe when you're dropping it off, you take an extra 5 or 10 minutes and you go through all of this and you just tell them all that. That can work too. But I like to write it all down because it's a lot of info. Plus, I like to be able to give them little things that they can say, right? Like, or ways if they've never used the dish soap, right? Maybe she's never bought dish soap from me before. And I can say, hey, here's another really great way. If you've got another container with a pump, it would be really great. You can just pour it into there. But this is going to also make your hands smell great. It bubbles up very nicely. It really suds up the sink. You can do a whole sink worth of dishes with just like a little squirt out of that bottle. It's fantastic, right? Same thing with the Scentsy Fresh, right? I'm going to explain, you know, spray the fabrics, spray the shower curtain in the bathroom, things like that. So if you've got hand soap, again, you're going to be putting hand soap in there. Just explain. That's all you got to do. And give them ideas on how to use the product. One thing that I did the last time I sent one of these out is because I didn't have any travel twists, and I actually gave a fragrance flower because I had one on hand. And so I, again, put that in my host coaching, you know, hey, make sure that you set this up maybe in the bathroom, on the end table. It really makes a good decor piece. This is how it works, right? So I'm giving them a little bit of info on how it works. So if someone, while they're at her house, were to ask and be like, so what is this thing, right? Or same thing with the travel twist. What is this? What's sitting on your table? What is this? How does it work, right? They actually have a little bit of knowledge, even if they've never used it before, right? And they can say, oh, that's called a travel twist. And she told me what it is it's, you just twist it open and then it lets out fragrance. And she said it's also really good for the car too. So that might be a really good place for it. But because everybody's in here, I just put it on the coffee table. Right? I'm really coaching my hosts. I'm giving them things to say. I'm helping to educate them a little bit on the product because I'm not going to be there, right? But I do also, in all of my host coaching, I always tell them, if you have any questions, if you run into anything, if somebody asks you something, here's my text. I probably won't be able to answer it right away. Is there really a Scentsy emergency? But I will get back to the text. So if you or someone there has a question, here's my text or here's my text number. Just have them text me and I will text them back and get right back with them as soon as I can, right? And then I'm kind of letting them know the pressure's off. They don't have to worry. They don't have to stress about having to know everything and all the things, right? I got it. I got it. I'll answer it, right? I'll answer those questions that they have. So I'm doing the same thing, like I said, around the holiday season, around Christmas specifically. It's going to be another great way. And maybe this gives you enough time now to where you can maybe plan a little bit, right? You're probably going to be doing a little bit of holiday shopping between now and Christmas. So take that time to look while you're out. Maybe you find a little festive little holiday bag that you can look at it and say, oh my gosh, that's only $3. I can pick that up and I can send that out with some stuff in it. Send that out as one of my Scentsy bags or whatever that you're going to call them for the holidays, right? So look at things in that light that you can really set yourself up. So what am I doing? I'm sending those out because those are going to do the work for me while I am actually going to be spending time with my family. So how we're able to work our businesses, you're going to schedule posts. You're going to send out any of your employees that you can, right? Get those employees out. Find those local customers, connect with them now, right? But if nothing else, start looking at them for the Christmas holiday. And you can get those to them as early in advance as you need to. Maybe they're going to be going to multiple houses for multiple Christmases, right? Some people, have many different, I'm going to be going to my aunt's house, the week before Christmas. And then we always do Christmas at my parents' house or whatever, right? So you want to be able to say, hey, you're going to be going all those places? You want to take one of these with you? I mean, no pressure, but you can take it with you. And hey, if you want to let them try it out or whatever, right? You can also gift the things that are in there. There you go, right? That really works as a great host item, right? That they can walk into maybe their mother-in-law's house and be like, hey, I know you're going to be doing dishes. Here's a thing of dish soap. And I just thought you might enjoy it, right? So again, these are things that I have gotten that when I'm closing out parties and looking for things that I will be able to either personally use or more specifically, things that I will use in a pouch party or a tote party, things like that, right? Things for my business. And remember, it doesn't have to be the whole container. It doesn't have to be. In fact, some of my most successful things have been where it's only been like half or maybe less than half left, like what's probably left in this fluffy fleece. I've been able to sell the most out of because they don't feel, this might sound weird, but they don't feel like they're really like taking advantage of anything when they're like, oh, well, there's only a little bit, I might as well use it, right? And they tend to use it more, right? When it's already opened or it's already halfway used. Same thing with the dish soap, right? There's only half of it in there. They're like, well, we might as well go ahead and use this, guys. Hey, I'm going to use this, and hey, I didn't use the rest of it. Hey, sister, you want to take this home with you? Right? So those are some things also that you can work into that host coaching document. That document, like I said, doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to have certain wording in it. Just write down whatever the things are that you're putting in the tote or the basket or the bag, whatever. Give them ideas of how you use it, how it can be used, of different ways to use it. Same thing with the washer whiffs, right? If you have some washer whiffs still left over, a little bit left, you could throw some washer whiffs in there. One of the great things that I love to share, and I share it on my reels a lot, is I will sprinkle the washer whiffs on the carpet and then vacuum, right? So it's a double kind of a thing. That's not just being used for laundry, which is really great. And so just little things like that you could put into that host coaching that is going to help that host know a little bit more, feel a little bit more confident when they're talking about things. So, all right. That's what we got. That's what we got. I just want to tell you all right here now before, or if I miss you, I hope that you all have a very blessed and happy Thanksgiving holiday for those of you celebrating in the U.S. I know a lot of our Canadian team members and friends, you guys have a whole different Thanksgiving. I know it's a lot about the U.S., so I apologize to you guys. But as we get in, like I said, be thinking ahead, right? If you're not going to use this for Thanksgiving, think ahead. How can I utilize this when it gets closer to Christmas? How can I go ahead and start setting things up? What are some things that I could put in there? Oh, I'm getting some washer whiffs in, and maybe I'll make sure that I save just a little left in that, and then I'll just send the container when I send out that December party bag that I'm going to send out to my girlfriend that lives down the street or whatever, right? Think of things like that you can start to do to set yourself up for that time. So schedule your posts, get those things out there so that way you can then enjoy your holiday, take some time off, but you're really not missing a beat in your business. Because at the end of the day, remember, we are building this business, we are working this business around us and our lives. All right? Now, while some of you are very dedicated, okay, I've known consultants who, even like moms who are giving birth, they're like, oh, I was at the hospital in labor and I was still selling to the nurses. And I'm like, more power to you, honey, because I was just worried about give me more drugs, right? Like, I need out of pain. Some of you might be very dedicated and you're like, no, Jacqui, I don't take these days off. I work my business. That's cool too. Whatever works for you. But I personally need that downtime. I personally want that time with my family. It's important. It's special to me, right? And I've got a baby coming next week, right? So I need to make sure that I have time for that, but I also need to make sure that my business is working as well. So I love this business just for that reason alone, right? I can still have my life, do my things, be with my family, and still have my business going. It's one of the reasons that I've stayed with Scentsy. It's one of the reasons that I love being a consultant. So think of those things as you're going into this holiday season, as you're looking for ways to work your business smarter, not harder. And if you guys have questions, don't hesitate to put them in the group. Either myself, Lisa's very good and really great at helping others as well, along with the other leaders that we have in the group. I've got my girlfriend, Texas. You'll know her as Cassandra Bollinger. She is in there too. Vicky is really great too. Yeah, Robin is great too. They jump in and they will help out as well. So don't hesitate if you have questions to reach out in the group. You guys, that's what the whole Facebook group is for, right? It's not for me. It's for all of you, right? It's for all of us. So I want you guys to be able to utilize that. So make sure that you use that if you have questions or if you need ideas or if you just need help. So that's what we're there for. All right, guys, have a very wonderful holiday. If you are cooking or eating or just celebrating with friends, having a Friendsgiving. I was going to say Friends Christmas, but Friendsgiving, if you're doing that too, right? Just have fun, relax and enjoy your day. Have a wonderful time with your families, hug them tight, and have a wonderful time. All right, guys, bye.